I feel like neither of you guys have great boundaries when we're not at work. So when we're at Gigi's frickin' first birthday party and you're brainstorming
That was me.
yearly goals at my daughter's
Her
birthday party.
is January 1st.
This is the Good Influencer Podcast with Julia Marcum and Becca McLeod, pulling back the curtain of how this multi-billion-dollar industry works. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.
Welcome to the Good Influencer Podcast. We have a very special episode this week. This is the sister episode where I invited my two sisters who work with me to do the podcast with me.
Your two only sisters.
Well, I actually have four sisters, but my two only sisters that work with me, Victoria and Andi.
I just realized what the name I was trying to think of was Nancy Meyer's Aesthetic.
For what?
Oh, for
The
what
memo,
we're wearing.
the wardrobe memo that both of you followed.
Yeah. My wardrobe is no surprise. I'm wearing neutrals or denim.
Yeah.
Denim on denim or neutral.
And denim kind of is a neutral.
I'm wearing the Walmart Free Assembly campaign that every influencer just did.
She was influenced.
And I packed this for my trip and I didn't wear it.
How influenced are you by influencers working for an influencer
100%.
company?
100% eat, sleep,
I'm
drink.
influenced by influencers.
It's like,
What's the last thing you bought that you didn't click on?
yeah. Ooh.
Do groceries count? I bought some
Sure.
donuts yesterday. And they weren't like Crumble. I guess Crumble doesn't do donuts. They're just like duck donuts. Yeah, good question. Most everything I buy
Is like through a
influenced to
link.
buy.
I don't think that that's because we work here. I think that that is pretty. I feel like that's
No,
normal.
it's because we work here. Because my friends do not.
they don't click on influencer
They don't
links.
even. They're not even. They don't even consume that much online as we do. Like I feel like it's just second nature to us.
Well, maybe it's
how
not.
we consume it.
Maybe it's just whether you're online or not online. I don't think you have to be an influencer or be working for an
Yeah.
influencer. It's either like, are you chronically online or not?
You know, how,
Now we don't have the option of not being chronically online.
also, you know,
Well,
how
I'm not
they're-
on TikTok yet,
I'm sorry.
which is an issue.
Yes, you are, because I keep sending you TikToks.
I don't.
Your
I don't
little
get
bubbles
those.
She's
there.
never
I
got
don't
it.
get
She's
those.
never got it.
I don't get
Okay,
those.
well, we have things to do over lunch because I'm going to show you all the TikToks
No, but
I've
it's
sent
a
you.
problem because then Julia's like, okay, do you know the trend? And it's humiliating because I produce our reels and I'm like, I don't know that one. And it's usually because it's from TikTok.
Yeah, I do kind of think like part of the job is doing
So
that.
that
be
is actually
well-versed.
why we're here today. We need you to get on TikTok.
This is an intervention.
I've ran into two separate people over the last month. And one was actually on our cruise, and it was like a couple that we like kind of got to know, and
The Disney cruise you guys
the
went on.
Disney cruise.
Okay.
And it always gets back to what do you do for work? Which can be uncomfortable when you like just met someone and you're clicking and then you're like,
Record screech.
Okay, so
What do you say?
What I do for work is
This is so fun because I bet all of us
I
have
think
to
we-
think
yeah,
of
what
a
do you say?
description.
okay. So I say, oh, we are. I actually just say it now. I'm like, we're home influencers.
Oh, that's good.
I just keep it short. If they're my age,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
if they're older than me, there's a different answer.
Which is
I'm in marketing.
I say to everyone, I am in social media marketing because when I say I manage an influencer, I'm a social media manager, like something like that, people are like, now people make money doing that.
I
Like,
know,
how do you
that's
make
the
money
thing.
doing that?
I
And
used
I'll
to
say I'm in
also-
marketing.
I used to also get in the weeds. Now I just say I shoot interiors.
Oh, keep it simple.
That's all I
You
do. I don't
You
even go
do.
into reels. I shoot interiors. Oh, okay.
That's so nice. So I was talking to this couple that we just met, and I was like, "Oh, we're home influencers," and they're like, "Oh, what's your TikTok?" And I was like, "We're not really on TikTok." I always say that. I have over 200,000.
Some people are watching
Absolutely
this on
on.
TikTok right now.
I have over 200,000 followers on TikTok. I don't feel like I'm on TikTok.
You are.
And they're like, "Oh, we're only on TikTok. We don't do Instagram." And I was like, "What?" That was shocking to me. They were actually 40 and 41. So like just older than me. And then obviously I run into the other more where they aren't on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people aren't on TikTok that are around our age.
Me.
We create this thing is like we create very little content for TikTok.
I know. I just kind of repost.
We kind of like we do the repost. It's because our media manager's not on TikTok.
I'm gonna work on it.
I know. Sometimes I just
I'm working on it.
I have no strategy. I have no plan for TikTok. I just post what I want over there.
See what sticks.
I never really respond to comments.
It's a younger audience, isn't it?
They're actually pretty
I'm like,
nice.
I am on TikTok though, so I guess not.
They're actually pretty nice. TikTok.
Yeah.
They're nice. Okay, but what were you guys doing? Let's talk, rewind. Before you were working for Chris Loves Julia, what were you doing for work? Because this actually plays into, like, I poached you from your jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 sisters. 2 work for me because of, you know, what they were doing before they worked here.
Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead, Anne.
This is Andi. Now, for those who are only listening, we need to
We have the same
specify
voice.
who's talking.
Most people say you and me, Julia, and Andi have the most similar voice.
Well, it's true.
This is
And
Andi
actually,
speaking.
Andy has done voiceovers. Sorry, Andy has done voiceovers for me for sponsored campaigns.
No, so
before.
I have been called out for that by a couple people.
Whoops.
A couple people know my voice well enough to know it was not me, but close enough.
So before, let's see. So that was in 2019. I was poached. Victoria and I were poached the same year.
Big year for CLJ.
Big year for CLJ. I was doing commercial photography in another country. I was in Monterrey, Mexico. I had lived there for 10 years and had started doing a lot of freelance that just like grew and grew. I dipped my feet in fashion and portraits and did modeling stuff, like shooting models. And then Victoria actually really helped me when she was a food editor.
Spoiler.
Yeah, she got me into food photography and I was hooked, and that opened like a whole other door. Anyway, by the time it was 2019, I had my own studio and I was just doing a lot of, commercial photography. By then I had, since college, like kind of gotten into also graphic design and just media in general. So, I mean, if we wanted to be really specific, I was pitched this job at the pool bar in Cancun on a family trip.
I mean,
and it was like, vibes are good. We're
We
relaxing.
also had you shoot a campaign on that trip.
you're already shooting the campaign.
It was like, Andi, can you shoot these pictures for Olive and Linen?
Imagine just this being your job.
And I remember I went back to the hotel room.
Isn't this fun? Are we having a great time?
And you guys were like, just think about it. And it was like, at the beginning, I couldn't tell, like, they're not being serious. Are they being serious? And it was like, we went back to the hotel room and I was like, I don't think they're being serious. I don't think so. And then it like started this pursuit. I was like, she's being serious. Anyway, I moved to the States in August 2019. So like a month after we were on our family vacation.
That fast.
Yeah. Well, when you offered me the job, I was told it starts in 3 weeks if I wanted it. Because someone else was leaving and it was like, and we need you to be a videographer too and a photographer. But it was like, it felt like this is the opportunity. We wanted to move to the States anyways. We just didn't know when. Little David was like 2 at the time. And it was like, this is the opportunity. And we went from Monterey, Mexico to Idaho Falls, Idaho.
That was so, I'm so glad you said yes.
And it was a culture shock, but
You know, when I asked Victoria, it was a pretty fast yes.
Oh yeah, I said yes right away. I don't know why you had to think about it.
She said yes on the phone.
oh my God.
She said, I don't even have to think about it. Yes.
Yeah.
But you had been in your position for a really long time.
I was a magazine editor in Pittsburgh. I did regional magazines. I did food magazines for 15 years, and I did different titles there. And when I was ready for a change, and also I can't believe print still exists. Like shout out to all the people still in print. But yeah, I was doing that, and I was ready for a change. And I remember it was February.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was January in 2019, and you guys asked if I would do it. And I said I needed 6 months because I was like, I need to find a new editor for this magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I worked remotely and I worked part-time for 6 months. And it was a good position. I came on as sponsorships, managing all the sponsorships. And I remember he said, we have a tiger by the tail. And what that really meant was we're leaving money on the table because there's a full inbox every day and somebody needs to go through and see like which one of these offers are real.
Yeah.
And it was a really easy transition for me because managing a magazine is like you're working with an ad sales team and you're also working with an editorial team, and working with an influencer, it's both. It's like, how are we going to make this campaign editorial? And
Right. And it was like, at that time, hiring someone, it always felt, it was like, if we hire someone, and it kind of still is that way, if we hire someone to do something that is just being left on the table, like imagine how much more we could
grow it.
Yeah. And so 2019 was a huge growth year, bringing on Andi, who did still photos, videos, graphic design, just you do all the visual media now, all the fonts. And, you know, I get in trouble a lot for the fonts I use on my reels.
Stick to the brand guidelines.
She gets in trouble from you.
Correct.
She's really got us all locked down on brand guidelines. This is who we are. She makes us look so good. And then Victoria, it was like Chris was managing the inbox.
Yeah.
Wow.
In between doing projects. And I was shooting. It was like I was shooting. It was like we're doing. What if we just called them up? Becca and I love chatting with you every week, but in between the podcast episodes, we're hanging out in our influencer mastermind. With a good influencer subscription, you get access to our exclusive course library designed to help you build your business as an influencer, and our mastermind forum on Facebook. This is your place to ask questions, network, and workshop. Here you can receive feedback from thousands of other influencers and our team. Listeners get 30% off their monthly subscription by using the code podcast at checkout. See you in the mastermind. So the question I get all the time is like, what is it like hiring family? How did you and Chris decide to hire family? So first and foremost is you always should hire people that will actually do the job for you well and never hire out of convenience. I think that both Victoria and Andi are really good examples of this because although they are my sisters, that's the convenient part and that's like the easy, trusting part. I knew that I could feel really comfortable about them. It wasn't convenient that Andi lived in Mexico or Victoria lived in Washington or that they both had separate careers. It was like I knew that they had all the skills that I needed for this job to be done. And I think that has only proven to be true over the last 5 or 6 years. And, we have since hired Chris's brother, Brandon, to be our collabs manager, and he lived in Florida. And I know that there's probably someone here locally that could have even, let's say, done your job.
Mm-hmm.
I did interview several when we lived in Idaho. The problem is there is, for me, this trust factor and this comfort factor where I have to be extremely comfortable with the person shooting me.
Right.
I have to be extremely comfortable with like the person booking my collabs or my sponsorships, that they know me, they have my best interest at heart. The company, is the forefront of what they're thinking about. And so naturally that does, for me, everyone's family situation is different. For me, I do think of family like, oh, I trust these people.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot of employees that aren't family.
True.
The majority of our employees aren't family. However, I trust them all so much, and that has happened like just over time. And I think it's been a long process of interviewing people because you either feel like you click with them like family or not.
Yeah. I think too, the other advantage is that there's some mind reading happening. Like something good about, I know you two, is like Andi as the media manager, kind of like you don't give a lot of feedback. Julia is terrible at giving feedback.
I'm super bad at feedback.
Yeah.
But you kind of like, if she's not liking something, she doesn't even know how to articulate what she doesn't like about it. And Andi kind of gets it. She's like, I know what to do.
Which is why, Julia's even come to me and said, I know I don't like this thing that this other person made, but I want you to tell them what it is that, and I'm like, yeah, I know what it is. It's this and this and this.
Well, I was even talking and you were editing a reel and you were looking for a song and I was like, what is it? What is the vibe? And you were like, she just wants it to be a reel that's like going to make you cry. And I'm like, oh, it's like, she never said that. You're like, it's got to be kind of like a tearjerker. I was like,
And Victoria will text me all the time when I'm shooting at the house and she's like, what's the vibe? What are the vibes? And I'm like, yeah, don't come, don't text.
Oh.
We have to get through this and this.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Andi, what is it like to work with me on a set for a shoot? And the other question that we got a lot was like, how do you, I hate like shoots where I'm like smiling at the camera.
I know that. Yeah.
And other photographers, because I've been on a lot of sets for a lot of different shoots, when it's not Andi, they're like, okay, put your hair behind your ear. And
Well, that's
so
what
I'm
I was going to say.
Well, I would never do that.
I don't feel like I've directed Julie once in 6 years.
no.
Because you don't, like, Julie is so talented in front of the camera, but like if I'm directing, that's already like something that would never happen, because I feel like that's, first of all, that's getting into like very intentional posing,
Which I hate.
which we don't do and Julie hates.
I don't
But
think it
also
looks
like
good.
we just have this, I don't know, understanding. Like, I know that she's going to know what to do in front of the camera. Like, let's say, for example, we're shooting the peel and stick floor tiles that we launched last year.
Let's say it.
Let's say, for example.
I think it was 2 years ago, but go ahead.
No, last year we had the
We
launch.
did have a new launch of green and green and red last year.
The
So
Oxford
peel
and
and
Jade.
Yeah. And it's like, we have Julie set up in the kitchen and she just starts leaning on the counter. She tilts her head a little bit. She knows what to do. So,
And I know that you're going to get it in 5 minutes or less.
yes, very quick.
I don't need, yeah.
So
this
there's
is
like
the-
a trust.
This is the problem about working with sponsors who want to bring in a team, you know?
Right.
And I have talked many brands out of doing that and say, we have our in-house photographer, and because they'll come and it'll be like, this is going to be a 3-day shoot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if we did this shoot, we could do this shoot in 3 hours. Less.
Yeah, half a day.
Less.
But that
Well,
all goes.
It's like a lot of good chemistry.
I think one of the highlights, well, I shouldn't say one of the highlights for you.
the highlight of my career. What is it? I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so the highlight of Andi's career, the highlight of from my perspective, I'll say my proudest moment of having the team that I have was when Rubbermaid.
Yeah.
We had a whole team. So we had a collection with Rubbermaid. It was a limited edition.
I mean, Julia chose the lid color, so it was all those lids but it was not the classic red. It was a skylight blue.
It was such a fun project.
Yeah.
And it was a limited edition 1 year, and they were coming to our house to shoot this Rubbermaid.
Bringing their own photographer.
Bringing their own.
I tried to talk them out of it.
In case I crumbled under pressure.
Because we told them, we're like, we have an in-house photographer that we would like to use. Also, like, our kitchen was like not even completely finished.
Can you imagine the meeting that they had where they were like, they want to shoot it. Her sister wants to shoot it. And they were like, I'm sorry. This is like a huge, they were like, no.
It's going to be on every box.
Yeah.
Every Rubbermaid box, however many millions they were printing, these pictures were going to be on it. Chris's recipe was going to be on it.
They sent a food stylist.
They sent a food stylist.
Mm-hmm. We had to do a sample shoot. I remember. I mean, they were nervous.
Guess what?
What, like it's hard?
We did it all.
Hard?
We did it on record time.
And within the first 15 minutes, that photographer was just leaning up against the wall.
He was like, "We're good."
He was happy.
I know.
He wasn't. He was like, "They got this." It wasn't like a "Why am I here?" It was like, "Whew, this is going well."
Yeah. We had the monitors set up. We were tethering. We were schmoozing the art director.
It was really, I just felt so proud because I know when we say we have an in-house team, we mean it.
Yes,
I think
sir.
that's a good note for other influencers out there too, that if you like, you can stick to your guns. You can say,
there's been times when we haven't and we've regretted it.
Yeah. You can say, we have an in-house photographer. And then if, it seems exciting that somebody would send a team. And it's sometimes.
And guess what? You're, especially as a home influencer, your house is, they don't know how to light your house or shoot your house. Your house is going to look different in every picture. And then your audience for the next however long it's live, forever, anytime they see this photo, they're going to be like, that room looks that paint color looks so different. I'm like, yeah, because they lit it so falsely and weird. And
so when did I don't even remember. I just felt like all of a sudden it was like, we don't have crews come to shoot anymore.
It was after.
When was that?
It was after. Because, and you know what? Our second collection, they didn't come.
Yeah, I shot it.
Because our first one, it was flash photography. It was just not our style and not our vibe.
Yeah.
And we're like, and then we shot our own.
Yeah.
And then the second time we're like, we really are going to shoot our own. Now, this year, I mean, there's always exceptions.
Laloy, we can't wait.
We can't wait to have Laloy come and shoot the whole house. And
I also want to shout out Bull and Branch. We had a fun shoot with them at Christmas.
We did, and they did a good job.
They brought a stylist and a shooter. Did you shoot that, or did they?
No,
they brought
was like
a shooter.
I feel like they were there for half a day.
They were there for half a day.
That was it. It was
very
one day.
Very short. And it was fun. I met the team, and it's always fun to see how they set up and work and talk shop.
I would say if you're like a new influencer in this business, finding a photographer that you trust, even if it's somebody you work on a freelance basis, and growing with that photographer, it's so valuable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's move over. We talked a little about some sponsors, but what's the craziest thing that's ever happened with sponsors in the last 6 years?
I can't wait.
I know which one you're thinking about.
I'm thinking of puppy pool party.
She's thinking of the puppy pool party.
Which I was out of town for.
Yeah, well, that's why we did it.
It was traumatizing.
We did it. We had a Walmart pet sponsorship, and Cricket is such a ham for the camera. And it was my dumb idea that we
put out a casting call to the CLJ team, which was only like 9 people.
And everyone had a dog.
Everyone had a dog.
Yeah, and I brought my girlfriend's dog, and
And
also
there were
cuts.
Andi, visual media. She got dogs.
I also am terrified of dogs, and I don't like dogs.
Well, this is a crazy shoot because we had 9 dogs in costumes
This was for Walmart.
for
Yeah.
Walmart Pet
Yeah.
at the CLJ house. Chris, Julia, the kids, they were on vacation, and it was like, this is a shoot we could do without them. Oh my gosh.
Wrangling 9 dogs.
Oh my gosh. And we were trying to keep them separated.
And mind you, this is a summer puppy pool party. There was sprinklers. There was little pools. So it was dogs getting wet.
There were pup
which
cups.
is even worse.
Was it smelly?
It was smelly.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, I'm uneasy around dogs, but I could tell that the pet owners
We were like
nervous.
taking turns, like taking one dog off of a leash and getting the shot. It took all day. I was sunburned. And then
A fight did break out.
at the end of the day, it was like, all right, you can let the dogs let them play. Oh my gosh. They were at each other's necks right away.
It was
terrifying. We were
so
screaming.
scary.
And the worst part is it didn't even do
And
well.
it didn't hit.
And the reel tanked.
We've had some really, I think we've found our groove with sponsored reels. I feel like they have been hitting lately.
Yeah. Well,
And it's like, especially with our Lowe's reels. Our last few Lowe's reels have been viral.
Well, I'm remembering reaching out of your your bedroom window or Greta's room because we put up the big tentacles for Lowe's.
No,
Lowe's
what was the original idea? And I said, I want to do the octopus tentacles. That was not
you were going to do a cat in the yard. No.
I was going to do...
It was like
the
the big inflatables for Halloween.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
some
we
context.
were going to do some inflatables for Halloween, which already you guys were like, you're going to do an inflatable.
I just couldn't believe it.
I could not believe it. I had huge reservations if this was on brand or not.
I know. And then when I saw these octopus tentacles that like blew up and could attach to your, like come out of your window, I was like, this is our house's costume for Halloween, which like, if you know me, follow me, you know, like our home is a member of our family and we love Halloween.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of fun to like, oh, also our house has a costume. Now I do feel a little bit of pressure. Like, does our house have a costume every year?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
Anyway, that was a really crazy setup.
Well, because I had to do the suction cup with an 8-foot tentacle and I'm like hanging out the window, but it hit really hard.
Oh,
that was
it
so
hit.
fun.
That was
And it's
really
so
great.
fun to like hear the sponsor just be so happy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's so happy. Oh, wow, let's
Yeah.
do it again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, let's do it
Also,
again for Christmas.
thank goodness, because we've done Lowe's shoots. We did that s'mores outdoor fire pit shoot.
August 2021.
that
and it was
to me,
so hot. And you guys were
No.
in flannel, and we were
No.
like, let's make a fall scene for
this
Lowe's.
was our first summer in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It was August. August in Idaho, no big deal.
Yeah,
I
especially
think it was
after
100
5.
degrees that day.
We were in flannels
You
with
guys
a
were
fire pit,
Literally posing like this with the fire
like-
pit, like warming up.
making s'mores.
There were mosquitoes everywhere. It was terrible.
We had to do
we
photography.
were drenched in sweat,
We
and
love
it
you,
was a
Lowe's.
fall campaign.
That's how much we did. That's how much
It was
we
a fall campaign. That's seared into my brain.
And that is like, I mean, I'm sure most people have like caught on to this, but like the nature of marketing in general is when you're shooting Christmas in October, you're doing fall in
Yeah.
August. Like,
fall in August is late.
honestly, it is. It is. And that's just part of the business. We're
we're
usually
like-
putting up a tree in October.
And we're trying to find one. Wait, we're trying to find one fall leaf. I remember like sweeping like all these dead leaves in a pile. And, like,
They were dead from last year. It was so
I do
bad.
remember having to look for leaves.
putting them all in the shot, like all the ones all the dead leaves we could find
my
in my
gosh.
yard, and like piling them up and like throwing them in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you had a pool yet because we would have been in
things.
it after that. It was so hot.
Hardest things, working with pets, working with kids, working with technology, and working with heat. And that shoot had...
That's a pretty long list.
When Andi says working with technology, she means we've done campaigns for Shark Robot,
Alexa.
Alexa.
We
We've done
did an
shoots
Alexa
for-
campaign.
Robot.
And it's like, please work how you're supposed to work.
Please.
While it's like they get stage fright, these
I know.
robots.
Yeah, I know.
When the cameras turn on, you're like, all of a sudden, you don't want to talk.
And Julia's like, Alexa, turn on the lights in the bedroom, and then music turns on in the kitchen. And we're like, start over.
Cat.
Okay. So this is all, it's also fun for us to brainstorm these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are all very creative.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be creative in general to be on this team.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just us, it's the whole team. We really thrive with like, okay, that's just your first idea. Let's hear the next one, and let's hear the next one, and let's hear the next one. What do you think in our upbringing, like, helped just nurture that creativity?
I think that we had a lot of talent shows.
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know until I was an adult that like other families don't like have talent shows regularly.
Just perform.
Just for each other.
For each other.
Yeah. And like there was a lot of performing. And it's like you might be in one talent show in your whole life at like your school or your church or something. We were in talent shows regularly at our house.
Nothing prepared me more for filming sponsorships weekly than
I know what you're going to say.
I don't.
I do.
at breakfast. You have the cereal box and you have one take to read the back of the cereal box perfectly with, you know, intonation. Is your inflection? Are you selling this? You're reading it like a commercial. You cannot mess up.
I thought you were going to talk about the cleaning show you made in the bathroom.
I also had a cleaning show while I was cleaning the bathroom. The mirror was my camera.
Right.
And I was like, and then you just do this. I was talking to it. I never had aspirations of like wanting to be a movie star or on TV. I didn't know how this was ever going to translate.
And it worked out.
It did.
It did. I'm like reading copy on a cereal box perfectly over and over until I don't mess up.
We all had after dinner jobs.
Chores, yeah.
We were 5 daughters. Our parents had 5 girls in 6 years. So we're very close in age.
Mm-hmm.
And every after dinner, we did just like break into song, which I don't think is normal for most families either.
No.
And it was
It's a
just
music.
like
We lived in a musical.
we lived in a musical. We consumed musicals and then we performed as musicals.
We went to dinner at your house recently, and I told my girlfriend, April, I said, now, this is like her first time coming. And I was like, sometimes when we're cleaning up, we do start singing. And she was like, I can't wait. And then when we were on our way home, she goes, you started it. I was like, well,
it's either you or you. I will not start. I need a note.
Sure.
I don't have that skill, which is why Andi is a master at choosing our audios.
Yeah.
I'm like, she like was like, it doesn't even go on the beat. Like, can you give me a note? Or like she'll like a reel will go live and she'll be like, did you not start it?
Did you
at
not
14
watch
seconds?
the screen recording?
She literally sends me a screen recording of where the audio is supposed to start on the reel, and
Because it matters.
I might start it literally 1 second too late, and she'll be like, "You did not start it on the 14th second
Andi was
mark."
on vacation last week, and Julia posted how many reels? She was like,
Oh, I think like 2 or 3.
she had a free for all. Andi came back and she goes, I saw the fonts you chose.
There's been 5 different fonts in the last
3
5
reels.
reels.
And you know what? They all did pretty well.
Okay.
When the cat's away.
Yeah, sometimes I like to just pretend like I don't have a team at all and just see what happens. Okay, what are your favorite what are your favorite and least favorite things about working with me? And then we'll go around the circle.
working together. I'm like,
Working
can I talk
together.
about her too?
Yeah.
Talk about me too.
Favorite and least favorite things of working together as sisters.
My favorite thing about working together is like, I mean, people probably don't even know this. So I work with both of my sisters are my bosses. Okay, Victoria.
I kind of feel like you're my boss sometimes, Andy.
Well, good. No, I'm just kidding. Victoria is my manager. I mean, she's like operations of the whole team. So Victoria is my like direct contact, my manager. Julia is the freaking CEO of the whole company.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about working with family, and we kind of touched on it, it just comes with this built-in understanding of each other that I wouldn't have at another workplace. Like, obviously, my sisters know my intent and like, you know, how I am as a person. They grew up with me. So that automatically just comes with perks of like a comforting, like, well, they get me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at any workplace, like, who knows how many years you'd have to invest in order to get to that level of like, I'm truly understood. I know that they know me and like how I am. So I love that part. My least favorite part is I feel like neither of you guys have great boundaries when we're not at work. So when we're at Gigi's freaking first birthday party and you're brainstorming
That was me.
yearly goals at my daughter's
Her
birthday party,
is January 1st.
I can't
And we just had
stand
a
it.
month off.
So
And we just had a month off.
And I also know Andy's very sensitive to that. Andy is sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys don't stop.
But we were
doing it.
trying to be quiet on the stairs.
You did go to the stairs. And I'm like, did mom go and talk with you guys? Or it was just, I was like, for a minute, I was like, Mom, you don't have to be a part of their brainstorm. Come have cake.
It's so funny because so I have this rule. Chris might have instated this rule, but it's a pretty strict rule that we don't bring up work first outside of work.
which I only just learned about, which means it's me.
But
bringing it up.
100%.
But if someone brings it up, I bite. That's the.
If you see the bait, you take it.
Of course, I'm like.
That's what she's like.
Well,
She
I'm
wants to
certainly
talk
not
about
She
it.
wants to
bringing up-
talk about it.
I'm definitely not bringing up work, so it's Victoria.
It's me. Probably.
But I mean, of course, like that's just my boundary because I could literally, obviously, it's my whole life. So I need to, I know that some people don't want to talk about it outside of work. I've hung out with other people in the office and they never bring it up and I never talk about it. And
I think it is me. I'm like, I always talk about it with people outside of work. Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's okay. That might be your favorite thing. Okay, so what's your favorite and least favorite thing, Victoria?
I think that my favorite thing is, it's something along the lines of like the hanging out, the mind reading. It's like I get to hang out with my sisters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I kind of always know what's going on with you guys, and that's really fun. It's also fun when like, how do you say this? Like we can get things, we're very productive as a trio and we can get things done really quickly because we're kind of like, there's like a mind reading thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
We're good at like yes-anding each other. Like we can like build on that idea. And I think that my least favorite thing is the sometimes chaos where it's like, we're going to have a production day and we're going to get all of this stuff done and we'll pivot in the minute. And it's like the best is the worst because the best stuff that we've had have come out of like these like, no, we got to change it right now. But it's so hard. It's like, how do you plan?
Right.
Like you can plan and produce and do all this stuff. And then it's like the three of us are operating on a level where it's like, nope, doesn't work. Throw it out. And it's like, we're going to do something else. And that's,
Oh man, I love that part.
I know.
That's Julie's favorite part.
I love having a team that's so open to pivoting and to seeing something and realizing we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and throwing it all out the window. It's hard. And I think we're doing better at not doing that as much.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Okay, this is better.
A better worse or a better good one?
A better worse.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, great.
Um,
My other least
I
favorite
think
thing.
that Julia is very candid with feedback with me and you.
Oh, I know when you're like, I'm not good at feedback. I'm like, not with me. You're great at feedback with me. You don't
Been
hold
doing
back.
it for years.
Yeah, I feel like Julia does not hold back, and she'll tell us exactly how she feels about something. And you are so much sweeter to like the rest of the team.
Sugarcoat.
And not to say you're not sweet with us, but like you know, I'm going back to that production day, and I'm thinking about, it's like I have to keep. That's why I'll check on the vibes. It's like I have to keep vibes high, because there'll be things on this list that Julia's going to be like, I don't want to do that. And it's like, okay, that's fine. We're going to move on. We're going to move past that. We're going to get that next time. And it's like you're very comfortable telling both of us that. And somebody else, they'll get like,
Yeah.
and as like managing the rest of the team, I'm talking so loud. I'm like yelling at
That's
this.
okay.
You're
Right.
passionate. I really don't like this part of my job.
I manage the rest of the team. In addition to doing sponsorships, I'm like a team director,
Yeah.
and I will. A team member will come and tell me like, "Oh, I was going to send our new affiliates manager. I was going to send Julia this lookbook," and I was like, "Don't do that." And she goes, "She said I could send her lookbooks," and I was like, "Yeah, don't do that. She's just being nice. She doesn't want that."
It is true. I was being nice.
I was like, "She's being nice to you." And,
I know.
I'm just going to be very direct and tell you that's not what she
Well,
wants.
I mean, I think that's just natural. Like we were born and raised together. Like, of course, with us,
Everybody's
you
more direct with
don't
their
have a
siblings.
filter. Like,
Yeah.
Well, also, I know when I love it when Andy's like a little hard on me. You're like, I don't even can't think of an example. But Andy's like can be really hard on me, but I know she's serious, but also I know
She's not mad at you.
I
She's
want
not
the
mad.
best for you.
she's not mad at me, even though she's acting mad and serious. I know it's a joke, but it's for real.
That's the sibling thing.
That's
It's like
the
If you
sibling
get it,
thing.
you get it. If you don't, you don't.
And I like it. I like it when she's like a little mad. Like, what are you doing?
yeah.
What
why
were
did you
those
post?
fonts?
Why did you post that reel last night? I don't know. I felt like
What
it.
was going through your head
wasn't
when
the
you
right
posted
time.
that last night?
And it would be insubordinate if it wasn't your sister saying
Right.
that.
Okay,
you
that's
know?
my favorite part of my job.
Yeah, being a little.
I get to be a little tough with
I
my
changed
boss.
my answer. That's my favorite part.
I would say my favorite part, everything mentioned. My least favorite part, and this is like, I think that you both get sick of me way faster than I get sick
That's
of
not
you.
true.
Oh, that's probably true.
That's not true.
I would like hang out every day after work. I'm always like, hey, why don't you guys come over for dinner? And you're like, well, we just saw you guys. Like, we just saw you all week. And I'm like, come over. We don't hang out.
That's the thing. Like,
We rarely hang out outside of work hours.
that's what I struggle with. It's like I do need a break or a boundary, but then that doesn't work because your only relationship with your family is work. So
Right.
that doesn't feel good.
I think
But then I'm so tired.
yeah,
I
I'm
just
tired
don't
too.
wanna come.
I'm like, I want to have a fun hangout.
I think
Right.
too, you guys
Well-
are so good at hosting, and your house is of course really beautiful. But then going back to the house, it is like going back to work.
For me,
and
it's going
Gabby,
to work.
your assistant, is nodding behind me, right? And she's nodding over there
Mm-hmm.
right now. But like it's like you're going back to work a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's now my new thing is like inviting you and Chris to dinner because
Yes.
that's more fun. You know?
Yeah.
So there's like a
I
little-
want to hang
You
out.
have to make space.
Yeah. If for me, it's like we're gonna come over and swim. Okay, so I'm going back to the house, but then it's like, so I'm gonna go to the house. We're gonna be in the pool, so that feels different. I'm with my sisters. That's the same. We're gonna talk about work.
Oops.
See that if that could change, a little bit,
This is an intervention.
dial back.
Okay.
We started with my
I see
TikTok
it.
intervention. Now we have to move to Victoria.
I'll stop. I will
funny
try to
thing-
stop.
The funny thing is, like, sure, I'm the home influencer. Both of you have houses that could have their own accounts. Victoria never posts her house.
Blows
It's
my mind.
bonkers.
Blows my mind.
Why not? She just posted a photo of her. I can't believe you haven't even put it in feed yet.
What?
She posted a photo of her staircase. It has a red rope going up to it like a museum, just like pinned on the side. And she's like, "It's you say it. I can't. I'm gonna cry if I say it."
What? Oh,
I'm an artist outside of my job, and someday they're going to put up red velvet ropes for what I make. So I made a little velvet rope going up to my studio.
Stop.
Can you?
No. I haven't even seen
And
it.
she's like casually posted in a story slide.
No.
And I don't even know. She hasn't even posted her new stair runner that I'm going to copy. Like, we have different design. We have different home
we do.
styles.
Yeah, we
Victoria's
do.
never painted a wall in her home.
No. Actually,
Yes, we did.
Yes,
you
you
came
did.
over. Julia came over because I was going to paint one of my rooms green. I have never done this before.
You were going to hire someone.
I was going to hire somebody. Julia picked the color, and then you came over with smoothies, and it was a surprise. I thought I was just going to do it with a podcast on or something, and she was at the door with smoothies, and she's going to help me paint. Oh my gosh, I'm standing there talking and holding the like bin that you're supposed to put the roller in.
The bin.
And I don't know what I'm like, I've never done this before. I'm telling her a story and she's like, "You're spilling paint." And there's
Her cup is just tipping out paint. I'm like, pay attention. She's just like, we'll just put a rug over it.
Who cares?
Who cares? But Victoria's house is an art mecca.
it's a gallery for sure.
It's a gallery. It's so beautiful. We don't come over your house very often because we have kids.
yeah, it's
no
it's
kids
kind of an
allowed.
adults only
No
house.
It's an
kids
adults only
allowed.
house. But you could invite us over, just
Okay.
adults, a little more.
I'm so inspired. I mean, I feel like my house is actually, I feel like I'm so inspired by both of your homes. So I mean, you've even been helping, Victoria's been helping me with kind of building a more eclectic gallery wall in our living
is just-
room.
I
Your
just give
style is
everybody
very like kind of romantic,
Yes.
transitional.
Yes, I learned the word transitional while working here.
Yeah, yours is very transitional with like romantic and like a little eclectic, but not as eclectic.
Not as eclectic as Victoria.
Yeah.
And I like
she like wants like an old vintage sofa around her dining table.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few retail products in my house.
right. Yeah.
Almost
And my
nothing I
like
could click on.
Julia has had her hands on more than one room in my house, literally.
Yeah.
The living room, Gigi's nursery. We just finished a big deck project. I mean,
My old dining table's in your dining room.
old dining
It looks great in
chairs.
there.
Like I have like the
Yeah.
CLJ hand-me-downs. Like my house is, yeah, it's
But
it's
it looks
great.
so different in your house.
Yeah, and I like a lot of sentimental photos. I do
And
feel
I
like
realized you guys both like layer, and I am like, I need like not so much in my like. I don't want like a lot on my walls. I want it like pretty. I get overwhelmed by.
I mean, definitely working here. I don't know what it's been like for you, Victoria, but it can feel overwhelming to be in this industry. And I like just shoot incredible, polished, styled interiors. When I go home, I'm like, well, yeah, my kitchen island sucks. Or I'm like, my countertops, they're all wrong. Or I'm like, I got to switch the ceiling fan upstairs. Like when you're immersed in this, it's a blessing and a curse because you're constantly so inspired. And I do feel so inspired to love where I live. Like I didn't have that in me before.
Mm-hmm.
And now I find so much joy and like, this is our home. But when we have like, I'm like next door to affiliates in the office and it's like, they're having a sale. This is do you know about this at Wayfair? I mean, it is constant. Like we need to improve our living space. We need to improve. We need to improve.
And the crazy thing is, you do it, and then you don't even post about it.
I have had people DM me that are like, can you please, I mean, the number of DMs I get daily about the dining room pink color, that was painted 2 years ago. It is daily. And it's not in my feed, but that's the only thing people want to know. What is the dining room pink color?
Are you asking me?
In my house.
Yeah.
Sherwin-Williams.
Didn't keep tabs on that.
You picked it, though, right?
No, it's
did
Sherwin-Williams
help
Red
pick
and Point, and Julie picked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it just boggles my mind that people just do things in their life, especially to their homes, and they don't post about it. But that goes back to niche.
Hey.
That goes back to niche. Rewind. We already have an episode about that. We do get a lot of questions about like HR discussions about salary. I have eliminated pretty much myself from those discussions.
Yeah, we never talk about it.
We don't
We don't talk
Julie.
about it. I'm not involved in it. In fact, I was just at a market and Leloy was having discussions with me about our contract and royalties and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm not the person to talk to. I'm not in those discussions because I have to leave my brain healthy for creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I focus on. So
We talked to Chris.
talk to Chris. Talk to our HR person,
Yeah.
please. We do have an HR person. Anyway, I think this is probably a good spot.
I would say
wow.
to end on, if you don't have a sister to shoot for you or to negotiate your sponsorships, just make one up, make an email address for her. And then
Yes. Oh, one last question is how have you balanced having some team members that are family and some that aren't?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people ask us like, why don't your other two sisters work?
And so how many people are on the team,
12.
including me and Chris?
Yes.
Okay, so outside of me and Chris,
10 of us.
10.
Oh, wow.
3 are family. So 7 aren't. So it's more people that aren't on the family that are. I'm sure, I know that people have felt in the past that there's special treatment for family.
Yeah, and I tell them
And
it's the opposite. You guys get special treatment.
Our family feels like they get treated like you heard it. You
Yeah.
give me feedback so harshly.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a misconception, I think, that we get special treatment.
Yeah, it's the other way around. It's that it's like we get treated like family. You can say things to your sisters you can't say to other people.
Right.
Yeah. But I would say everyone on our team is extremely like, I know that you're not supposed to say like your company is like family, but like everyone on the team, they're just so fun.
Yeah.
We have a really fun team
Yeah.
and we have a lot of fun and we work really, really hard.
When we're all sitting around the table on a Monday meeting, I don't even think it's crossing anyone's mind like they're saying that because they're family or they're acting that like it's just extremely professional, very neutral. It just has always felt that way. So it works. That's why we're still here.
And as a company, I might not be the best at giving feedback, but we do collect feedback frequently. We're always like, how's everyone feeling? What can we do to improve? Anonymous, there's numbers, HR, all this stuff. And so we do try to keep it positive.
Yeah.
But
And
I think the moral of the story, like going back to the beginning, is just hiring family for me has been such a huge part of this business. It's fun for me to have this family business. And it's fun for me to then go talk to like Jean Stouffer, and she has a big team and she also works with her family. And the Leloy brothers, it's a dad and his 2 sons, and they also have a ton of other employees. And it's like there is this great pride and accomplishment that I have that I'm able to hire people to work for me that are also family. That like feels really good. And like maybe one day, my daughters will work with me.
Well, we know Faye.
We know Faye will. We know Faye. Maybe Greta soon. We'll
Faye's
see.
clocking in this afternoon. She already told me.
Phase, yeah.
But I think don't do it out of convenience, and don't do it thinking it's all just fun, because I know before we hired Chris's brother Brandon, we had really serious conversations. Like, they were moving their whole family here from Florida, and we're like, we don't want something to happen where our relationship is affected because of work. And you have to be so intentional about that. And the truth is, it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like you might not hang out as much outside of work. You get to see each other every day, though. And you get to like build a really cool thing. But, you know, there's stress involved and there's decisions made that you might not like. And that's like so tricky, but also rewarding, but also hard. And also fun.
Can you keep up?
But it's been a pleasure. Hope you all enjoyed the sister episode of this Good Influencer podcast, and we will see you soon with Becca back. We will see you back with Becca soon. Until next time, follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Good Influencer. And if you're ready to join a whole community of influencers growing organically and getting paid to do what they love, join the Good Influencer Mastermind by visiting our website, good-influencer.com. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.